have a question, and also you can write down your question in chat room, chat box, yeah, or in the after Professor Vivian presents her material, you can have a question by using the feature of raise hand. So Professor Vivian, it is time for you for having this afternoon presentation. Please, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that very nice introduction. So can I share my screen? Okay, good afternoon, everyone, to the committee, especially to our dear students this afternoon who gather here in the virtual platform. So good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Good afternoon.
it is my pleasure to be invited in this international engagement of the ITS, even if I was informed in a very short period of time, but then it is my pleasure to connect with you since we are partners. So that is what partners are for. Friends are for. That is what friends are for. Yeah, we are not just partners, but we are friends. Yeah, so I consider you as friends of ASCAT, friend of mine, and friends of the Philippines. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And so before I will start my presentation this afternoon, so let me show to you the picture of the ASCAT. So on the first, on the left side is the ASCAT. So this is the front view of our institution. So this is the highway. So it is directly along the highway.
We lost your voice.
Sorry, I'm losing your voice, Prof. Vivian.
Happen. I am. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm back.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so again, so this is the landmark of our school, the 165 steps stairs. So if you are traveling along the highway, you can immediately see this one, and you can say that it is a really ASCAT. This is the ASCAT already because of this long stair. And then this one is the building of the College of Arts and Sciences. Then this one is for the College of Teacher Education, and the other buildings cannot be seen when it is viewed from the highway. So that's it. And on the right side, so this is yours. Yeah, this is your building. So that's why I put here the two names, our name and your name, because and the picture of our school and your school, because I consider you as friends. So we are partners on this. Yeah. Okay, my dear students. So this is it. What can you see on the screen? Anybody?
Anyone can respond, please, students. It's
A virus?
Yeah.
A virus? Yes, it's a virus. What kind of virus?
I think it's the coronavirus.
Yeah, you've got it right. It's a coronavirus. And we know nowadays, I guess more than a year, we are suffering this virus. And because of this virus, our work, our life was limited, especially during the first trimester when this virus attacked to us. We got locked down in our own houses, in our own field, in our own community, and we are not allowed to go out. And if we will go out, there must be a quarantine pass for us to go out to buy essential foods, essential materials needed by our family. And so the activities of the people, of the community was limited because of this coronavirus. But then you have noticed nowadays it evolved. When this virus evolved, human thinking also evolved. We were became uh, imaginative, became positive on the situation on which we didn't let this virus hinder all our activities. We were able to deliver all our deliverables, especially in education. So this situation that we are now, this activity that we have, this international engagement that we have, this is an example that we didn't let this virus hinder our activities, our lives. We continue to live because we know that it is not the end of the world. When pandemic came, it is not the end of the world. We will look at the positive side of it, that we were able to travel around the world at the same time without spending much money. Yeah, because we are just in our own place, but then we are traveling in other places. Same with me now. I'm in my own town. I'm in the Philippines, but virtually I am in Indonesia, right? So we will not let any pandemic, any circumstances hinder our activities, hinder our determination to to pursue our dreams, to pursue our activities. And so we have here the shield, the government, all the governments around the world looking for the solution how to stop this virus. If we cannot stop this in a limited time, but then at least we can assure that we will be safe when we are going out because of this shield. So this shield is what we call now the vaccine, right? So there are many vaccines that were developed nowadays. I do not know there in your country if how many percent of the population were already vaccinated. Here in us, the priority were the medical frontliners. So 70% of them were vaccinated already. So this is the one of the solutions of our government, that our lives will continue, our dreams will continue. So they are not stop thinking of other alternatives on how to combat this pandemic, because we know that uh, this pandemic cannot stop us learning. Even if we are not in the same classroom, just what we used to be, that we are in the four corners of the classroom, but still we are learning. We are learning even outside the classroom. And I guess majority of our learnings can be learned outside the classroom, because we know that experience are the best teachers. Not all of the activities, not all the informations can be learned inside the classroom. So let's go out in the classroom. So this is what we did. We went out from our classroom. Because of this pandemic, this become a realization that experiences outside the classroom became the best teacher to us. And next slide will show us different things. Anybody can tell us what is this illustration all about? What's this infographics all about? Anybody? What's this all about? Bring your cup, reusable coffee mug, say no plastic, use glass jars, and so
Green
on and so.
action.
Pardon?
Green action. Environment sustainability.
Yeah, green actions, environment sustainability. Correct. You have another points. You will be given 100 points for that. Yes, so that is correct. We are protecting our environment. Zero waste. Go green. Forget the waste. Remember nature. So what does this imply to us? What this illustration is telling to us? Anybody? What's it? Alexandra Situmorang?
Yes, Professor.
Yeah.
Could you repeat again the question, Professor?
What's this illustration is telling to us? Since you said earlier, somebody answering that it is all about green environment. So what's this illustration telling us about our environment?
Maybe we should be care to our environment, like using less plastic, go green, and etc. Professor.
Why? Why do you think we will be doing that one?
To prevent like climate change problem, to decrease the environment problem.
Yeah, so because of that, I will give you a very big check. Yeah, so thank you so much for that. A brilliant idea for that. Yes, so that is correct. How about this one? The first picture that we have. Ananda Kebran. Yes. How about Angelica Deviana? Are here?
Maybe the one with the.
I'm sorry, I'm calling you randomly. I'm just looking on the participants, a list of the participants. Anybody has an idea what this picture one all about?
Anyone, if you have problem probably with English, you can ask in Bahasa, then I will try to communicate to Professor Vivian in English. Probably it helps, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
please,
okay. It's okay.
yeah,
Because Prof.
probably
Yuda here is here to help us connect with our communication.
yeah, yeah.
Anybody here?
Yeah, maybe you can call someone else.
Yeah, so I will look at the list. Sarnita Sadia.
Yes.
Yes.
Sarnita.
It's okay if you will use your own language, and we have here the moderator, Prof. that to interpret that one for me. I'm sorry because I cannot understand also your language.
That's fine. Yeah, Sarnita, about this picture, what do you think about the picture over here? Sarnita?
Iya, Pak. Saya pakai bahasa Indonesia ya, Pak.
Okay, ya, bahasa Indonesia.
Yes. Saya kira gambar pertama ini mengajarkan kepada kita untuk menggunakan barang seefektif mungkin, Pak.
So, Professor Vivian, Sarnita said that this picture tell us to how can we use things effectively, so we have no longer unuseful products or things. That's the Sarnita said just now.
Very well said. Yeah, so that is correct. Yes. How about picture number 2? Okay, well, I will call somebody.
Okay, yeah.
Yenny Aprilina.
Yenny Aprilina. Yenny, can we hear your voice, Yenny? Yenny?
Yenny? How about Sonia Faradilia?
Sonia Faradilia. Sonia? Come on, Sonia.
What can you say about picture number 2? What does it tells us all about? Or what information it can give to us?
Sonia? Okay.
Sonia is not here. So how about Rara Audrey?
Rara Audrey. Rara?
I guess somebody is raising his hand, her hand rather. Putu Maharin Rane.
Hello, Miss Vivian. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
clear
Okay,
and loud.
Okay. I'm sorry for the voice there. I want to try to interpret the picture number 2. I think it's part of sustainability lifestyle that we can vegetable gardening that I think it's more effective to it's a solution. It's another solution of supply chain of production. Then the right one is use alternative transportation like bicycle and another transportation that didn't use any fuel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have here another one that is raising her hand or his hand. Ferdy Interior.
Yes, can you hear me, Professor?
Yeah, clear
Okay.
and loud.
For the second pictures, I think it shows us about the green living lifestyle. Like the left part, it's about like producing our own food, because it's actually not only about the supply chains, it's also helping us to reduce our consuming of the plastic for the packaging and any others examples that causes because of the production of our food by ourselves. And the right part is about um, the transportation that is not causing the emissions, so it's very eco-friendly. And yeah, besides bicycle, we can also use the mass transportation like we have here in like MRT, bus, and any other public transportation that the government provide to the citizen. Thank you.
Precisely. So that is really correct. So that is one of the ways, one of the solutions on which we can help our environment to be in that friendly environment for all of us that lives on that certain environment. Okay, so this afternoon we're going to discuss how to educate our neighbor about sustainable lifestyle. So that is the topic that we are going to discuss this afternoon. Okay, so what is sustainable living? So somebody will ask, what is this? What's this sustainable living all about? What does it mean when we say sustaining our living? How are we going to sustain it? Sustainable lifestyle. What is a lifestyle? What is sustainable? How are we going to sustain that kind of lifestyle that we have on which the environment will not be put into a negative situation? So this time, I have here the illustration on what makes up our lifestyle. So it is a cycle. And so when we say
We lost your voice again,
Yeah,
Professor.
Professor Vivian, I think we are losing your voice and we cannot see your.
that illustration.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, suspect.
Oh, is my connection there was interrupted? So I am using the other gadget, my cell phone. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm back. I guess I ask an assistance from the committee to share my screen instead of me because my connectivity is in trouble. Just in case the other gadget that will experience trouble, I am using another gadget. So I will let the committee share it. Is it okay?
Surely, Prof. Vivian. Sure. We are standing here. So if you have losing your internet, so I'm going to share your screen.
Yeah. I would suggest that you will share it now instead of me.
Yeah. Miss Vivi will help. Yeah.
Okay, sure, Prof. Vivian, maybe it takes a minute because I'm still loading from Prof. Wahyu.
Yeah, it's okay. So this is one of the challenges that we are facing in this virtual world.
Yeah.
The connectivity, the electricity interruption. So this is really it. But then we have to embrace. We have to thrive this kind of world that we are now in. Yeah, so
I think it's very much better than 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Or 20 years ago.
Yeah, compared 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It is much better.
Much better, yeah.
Yeah. So I apologize to our dear students, since I am experiencing trouble with my internet connection. So I let the committee to share it instead of me.
No problem.
Thank you for bearing with me. So I am glad, my dear students, I am glad to be here in this platform. So it is really my pleasure to see you virtually. Hope to see you soon when this pandemic ends. So we will visit Surabaya. Yes. If there was no pandemic nowadays during Comtech, I guess we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we were there. There are 3 of us joining Comtech, and that was our first time to join international engagement like this.
Yeah.
And this is also the first time of us, Kata, to be a guest lecturer. Yes, and it is with Surabaya.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so here it is. Number 6. Slide number 6.
How about this one, Professor?
Next one. Yeah, that one. That one. The previous one, the previous. Yeah, that one. Okay, so here it is. So what makes up our lifestyle? So it is what we eat, where we live, how we move around, what we buy and use, and what we do for fun. So I'll give you 1 minute to think, all of you, my dear students, to think what makes up your lifestyle based on this cycle that we have. Okay, so I'll give you 1 minute. Then after that one, I will randomly call you, my dear students. Pardon me, I apologize if I call your name, but I am choosing it randomly. Yeah, so I'll give you 1 minute to think what makes up your lifestyle.
So for students, you can see over here what we eat, where we live, and so on over here to get the idea of answering the question from Professor Vivian.
Hello, Professor Vivian?
Yes.
Okay, I think we are losing you a few moments, few seconds ago.
Pardon?
No, we are worrying to lose you a couple of seconds, just few moments ago. That's what Vivi said. That,
Yeah. Okay, so let's start.
Yeah.
So I'll be calling you randomly, my dear students. So just tell us, just free to share your lifestyle. What makes up your lifestyle based on this illustration that we have, that what you eat, where you live, how we move around, where did you go, what you buy, what are those materials that you buy and you use, and what we do for fun. What are our what's this other activities that makes us happy, that makes our stress relieves. So that's it. So I'll be calling I guess I will call somebody to share your lifestyle in order for us also to know what makes up your lifestyle. Okay, so I will start from Prajna Pramita Izate.
Ratna Pramita. Ratna.
How about Siska Mega?
Siska Mega.
Or anybody from this virtual room who would like to share their lifestyle. Anybody who is ready to share their lifestyle. Oh yeah, we have here Wida.
Oh, yes. I'm Widya from Interior Design Department. I'll try to answer my lifestyle here, Professor. So, about where I live in a city which is near the campus,
Yes.
and mostly I move around with transportation. It's a motorcycle. And about what I buy and use, we use utensils and we buy fashions, and we buy some things for our daily lives. And what we do for fun, what I do for fun is I like to watch some movies. So in this lifestyle, I think I use some electricity. And what we eat, I eat vegetables, and I eat meats and fish. Thank you, Professor.
Yes. And based on your lifestyle that you have mentioned earlier, how your lifestyle help protect our environment?
This one, we already have talk about this in other lectures. And actually for my lifestyle, it takes like about 2 half Earth. So I don't think that my lifestyle is helping our Earth.
Since we are talking sustainable lifestyle, can you sustain that one? Or how long will you sustain it?
I think because it's pandemic now, so I don't move around a lot. So I'm using motorcycle less than before. And because we have Ramadan last month, and we eat less than usual. And also, but I think because I still live in home like every time, and the electricity still goes up, but for what we eat and what we used to move around and what we buy, it's decreased. And I think I help in that sector.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Even in that little way that we are doing, so we are helping our environment. We help to protect our environment. So we will not force ourselves that we will change the whole world. No, we cannot change the whole world. We will start it from within. So we are the first one to be changed for that. If we want to change the whole world, we will change first ourselves. Yeah? Okay.
Yes, Professor.
Yeah, so thank you so much for that active participation. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so we have here the sustainable living ideas. So we will define what is sustainability, sustainable development, and sustainable living. So we have the experiences a while ago about our sustainable living. So this one, we will give some definition of these terms. So may I call somebody to read it for us? Ahmad, please read for us the sustainability.
Ahmad. Oh, we cannot hear Ahmad.
Okay, so let's proceed to how's this? Bago Sandra Iramadani.
Sandra Iramadani.
Yeah, just to read the definition of the word. So we have here another one raising her hand, Putri.
Okay. Putri, yeah, Putri.
I'm going to read the sustainability definition again. So sustainability could be defined as an ability or capacity of something to be maintained or to sustain itself. It's about taking what we need to live now without compromising the potential for people in the future to meet their needs.
Okay, so thank you so much for that, Putri. So I will ask somebody to explain it.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one that I call was just to read. So this time I will ask somebody to explain what is sustainability all about. Okay, so I'm very sorry, Ivan Azar.
Ivan Azar. Oh.
Ivan is not here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to hear you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Professor. So maybe from me, sustainability focus on maybe meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs.
Yeah. So very well said.
Yeah, maybe it's a balance between environment and then human or economic or social.
Yeah. So thank you so much. So when we say sustainability, it is the ability or capability of something to be maintained or sustain itself. How to sustain it, how to maintain something. So that is our ability. That is sustainability. That's why earlier I asked your classmate, how can you sustain that kind of lifestyle? Until when you can sustain it? So that is our ability to sustain. So that is what we call sustainability. Our ability, if we are going to sustain it for a longer time, for a lifetime, they said there is no forever. Yes, so how long are we going to sustain that one? So that ability is what we call sustainability. So that is really correct. So next, I want somebody to volunteer to read the definition of sustainable development. Anybody?
Anyone,
Oh
please?
yes, somebody is raising. No, there are many of them raising their hands. So I would rather pick Farida Fira.
Yeah, Miss. Okay, so sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
Okay, so thank you so much, Farida, for reading that definition for sustainable development. This time, I need someone to explain it. Can I still see raising their hands? Yeah. So we have here same Ferdy. Ferdy
Yes,
raising his hand earlier, and then this time also, this is the second time he is raising his hand.
yeah, I think about the development itself, it's about like the sustainable, which is being planned before, and it's about having what is it like a research before about it and projection for the future generations. So it's not only about what is it like consuming without any planning or estimation before, but it's like looking for our needs right now and projecting what is actually about the future, what we are gonna need, and it is implemented by what is it like a whole mass, a lot of people. So it's called about the development that focusing on sustainable. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much. So sustainable development, it has something to do with the developments that will be used to, especially the plans, the development plans that we are having it is those can be used for the future, for future use, for the beneficiaries of that say for example program or whatsoever it is. So that development, how this development can be sustained, if this can be sustained for a longer period of time on which the future generations can still benefit it, can still use it, on which that development will not become what's this that cannot be used anymore by the future. Instead, yeah, this development can still be used, that is available, beneficial, still beneficial to our future generations. So that what is sustainable development all about. And so let's proceed to the sustainable living. So it is says here, it is a lifestyle that attempts to reduce an individual's or society's use of Earth's natural resources and personal resources. So it is an attempt to reduce its dependence on the natural resources. So what does it mean? When we say it is the attempt to reduce this independence on natural resources. Anybody? A living that will not depend, or not necessarily not depend, but reduce the dependence on the natural resources, on the resources that we have in the environment. As what you have said earlier, the one that is sharing her lifestyle, that nowadays during pandemic, she used to watch movies. And she mentioned also that in watching movies, it uses more electricity. And so that using more electricity, it means that we are also using much of our natural resources. In our case here in the Philippines, our electricity is generated by the water. So hydro, we are using here hydroelectric power plant. So it means that we are using plenty of water. We are using here plenty of our resources on which we are using much more of our natural resources. But then this one, what we call sustainable living, is What does it mean? Sustainable living means to make lesser negative impact to our environment. But if we are using plenty of our natural resources, can we say that we are in a sustainable living, or we are practicing sustainable lifestyle? Are we or not? If we are using plenty of our natural resources. Okay, somebody is raising her hand or his hand. Okay, I will call Nadif Ikbar Wibowo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I would like to underline that there's a small distinction in this statement that I would like to kind of change. Like, it is an attempt to reduce this dependence on natural resource. I think it's fine to for us to depend on natural resource, but what we need to consider is we need to depend more on renewable natural resource rather than the unrenewable one. Like reducing the usage of fossil fuel or something like that, and start shifting into much more natural friendly and renewable resource like the wind, or probably much more efficient one like using nuclear technology for something. I think there is a small distinction that I would like to brought up in the statement. And regarding sustainability living itself, I think by shifting this our dependencies to the unrenewable natural resource, I think we would make a less negative impact to the environment. This doesn't matter that we have to go back into, back to nature or something like that. No, what I would like to suggest is we use much more efficient technology to exploit our renewable natural resources to make sure we have a lesser negative impact to the environment.
Yeah. So that is right. We will reduce our dependence. So we will not rely more on the natural resources. So we will look for an alternative way on how we are going to reduce our dependency on our natural resources. So that is what we want to emphasize here. So let's move on to the 4 pillars of sustainability. So we have here, number 1 is social. So how this social become a pillar of sustainability, or what we call social sustainability? What does it mean? When we say social sustainability. Anybody? Hidjana Bilya. Christiana.
Yes, Professor.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the social pillars is included in pillars of sustainability because it connects with general public.
Yes. So it connects with the general public. And who are there in the general public?
Like society.
Yeah, the society, the community that we are in. So it means that when we say social sustainability, it aims to preserve social capital by investing and creating services that constitute the framework of our society. It means to preserve future generations when we say social sustainability, and to acknowledge that what we do can have an impact on others and onto the world. And in the other way, social sustainability focuses on maintaining and improving social quality, such as cohesion of the people on that society, honesty, and the importance of the relationship of the people on that community. How can we sustain that relationship? How is our relationship to our neighbor? What is our relationship to them? Are we friends with them? Or are we an enemy with them? So what is our relationship with the people that surrounds us? And how are we going to sustain that relationship? So that is what we call social sustainability. The importance of the relationship of the people living in that society, living on that particular community. So that is what we call social sustainability. So next is human sustainability. So when we say human sustainability, it maintains and improve human capital in the society. So how are we going to maintain human capital in the society? Anybody?
Anyone?
Hello, Professor Vivian. I'm so sorry, I think that you have trouble with your connection.
Let me try to interpret the question. How can we deal with the human capital? Bagaimana kita mengembangkan sumber daya manusia untuk sustainability-nya? Silakan teman-teman. Okay, students, you can respond to the question from Professor Vivian.
I'm sorry, I lost my connection again.
Yeah. Okay.
Ferdy is raising his hand for the third time.
Ferdy, yeah.
Human sustainability, it's about the people or the human-centered needs, which are like the healthcare system, the economic, and then the education. That those are the elements that are actually needed by the human as a person who wants to improve the quality of life. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So that is really correct. So number one is the health. Especially during this time of pandemic, we have noticed that plenty of our friends, plenty of our neighbors, plenty of the people in our environment, in our community died because of this pandemic. And so how are we going to sustain human capital? So the government, as what I've said earlier, the government has a solution already. So they are producing more vaccines because they want to sustain, they want to invest, and they want to maintain and improve human capital. So health is number one. As what the saying goes, health is wealth. So what are we going to do with our money if our health is degrading? And so we have to improve the health of our people by providing that the needs in the medical aspects of our government. So they are investing more of it in the health aspects of our excuse me, of our environment. So health. Then second one is nutrition. So the food that we will be eating, how beneficial it is, how nutritious it is to our health. Maybe we are just eating, I'm sorry to tell this, I'm sorry to use the word junk foods or the unhealthy foods. So that is not good to the health of the human capital. So that's why the government here in the Philippines, every month of July, we are celebrating Nutrition Month because we want to emphasize how nutritious foods is very important to mankind. And that way, we are preserving, we are improving our human capital. And next to that is education. Of course, we will educate. We will educate our human capital. In the Philippines, we are, it was being injected in our minds that education is the key to success. Education will lift up our living, will help us lift up from poverty. So that is what the government of the Philippines inculcating in our minds. So that's why we have the free basic education. And in tertiary, we have free education, free tuition fees, no more fees to be collected to our students in the whole Philippines. So because we want to improve, we want to maintain, we want to sustain human capital. Because how the community, how the country works without human capital. So it will be stuck. No more people in that community. Only animals, only plants. So how this community be improved without human? And so there is also saying that human are rational. Human can think of the things that is beneficial to them. And so that is what our government is doing to sustain, to improve and maintain human capital by providing the necessary things needed by our people, by the human. So there are organizations that will promote. Here in the Philippines, so we have here what we call GAD. That is the abbreviation of Gender and Development. So there will be no bias to our human capital. Even the third, what's this? How we call that one? The rainbow group of people. That one, the LGBT. They have their rights on the community. Our government here in the Philippines also protecting those group of people. Because we want to maintain, we want to improve, and we want to sustain our human capital. So let's move on to the economic sustainability. So economic sustainability aims to maintain capital of the community, of the society, the capital intact. So if social sustainability focuses on improving social equality, economic sustainability aims to improve the standard of living. So that's why I am very biased that I am always using Philippines because I know much of the Philippines than Indonesia. So I am very sorry to
That's fine.
brag
No problem.
to brag down the Philippines because I know much of Philippine government than Indonesia. So I'm very biased on that. I'm very sorry for
That's
that.
fine, Professor.
Yeah. So economic sustainability. Our government here, we have program to the less fortunate people. We call this for peace, for poverty program of the less fortunate people. So our government are giving them program, giving them capital. So there is an organization of our government that focuses on that group of people, that this group of people will be trained, will be given capital in order for them to double that one in the near future, and the time will come that it is enough to sustain the needs of their family. So that is what our government is doing here in the Philippines, and I do not know there in Indonesia. That's why I am asking somebody in this group to share how the government of Indonesia sustain economic aspect of your country. Okay, anybody? I want another person to what's this to answer, because Ferdy is raising his hand for the third time already. So I want someone else to share. Anybody here that can share how the government of Indonesia sustain economic capital of the country? Anybody? I want to hear other students. I cannot call others because it is number. There is no name, number only.
102.
Yeah. Okay, so I have here Zivina. How the government of Indonesia sustain or maintain the capital intact of the government? What are the programs of the government to lift up the economic or the standard living of the people in Indonesia? Because I can see that your country is more advanced than ours. I admit that one, because that is really true. You are more advanced compared with us. Anybody can share? Norma? Okay, I will call who's this? Muhammad Arya Irfandi.
Muhammad Arya Irfandi, silakan.
So that I will know also how your government help the living of the people. Yeah, especially those who are less fortunate. Yeah, so somebody is raising his hand. Sarah Charisma.
Yeah, Sarah Charisma.
Okay, thank you, Professor. So one of the programs that our government doing right now is to give the people cash social help. So the government gives some cash or some money to help the economic of the people of Indonesia. So I think that's one of the programs, Professor.
Direct cash to the individual?
Yes, direct cash.
Wow! Did they receive the same amount?
Yes, they receive the same amount, but it's only for the middle to poor people. That,
yeah, that is nice to hear. So I guess we have almost the same program in the Philippines, and I guess we have the same because we are both in Asia group of country. We are neighbors. So maybe our government benchmark from each other, asking ideas from each other, right? Yeah, so that's it. That's why we have almost the same programs implemented by our government. So that is nice to hear that it's not only the Philippines doing that one. And I guess maybe that is not the original program of the government. Maybe we benchmark from you. Yeah. So that's what friends are for, giving information, giving what is best for the country, to the humankind, and to all the people living in in their community. So that is what we call friends. Okay, so let's move on to the environmental sustainability. So what are the programs of your government to sustain the environment, to sustain the protection of our environment? Anybody from the group? How was the government of Indonesia sustain and protect the natural capital of the country? Anybody? Okay, because here in the Philippines, we have a department here, an agency, national agency. We call that as DENR, Department of Environment and Natural Resources. So it is the agency of the government that is assigned, that has a task to protect the natural resources of the country. So especially here in the Philippines, that mining is a very rampant. So we have here the small scale mining, illegal minings, something like that. And so this is the agency of our government that is assigned, that is tasked to protect the natural resources, the natural capital of the country. So there are laws, there are ordinances, there are executive orders on that will be used as a legal basis for that agency to stop whatever the malpractices of the human regarding our natural resources, because we in the Philippines, so we are rich with natural resources, and so we depend much more on the natural resources. That's why we have to take good care of it, because most of our living here in the Philippines is on the environment, on the agriculture, because we are agricultural country. Even our school is called Agricultural College, Agusan del Sur State College of Agriculture and Technology, because our school is more on agricultural courses, agricultural technologies. So we are more on that, how to improve the agricultural aspect of our government. So we are one of that higher education institutions that is assigned, that is having that function to help our government leverage the level of our farmers. Because in the Philippines, it is sad to say that farmers, people, when we say you are a farmer, people will look down on you. So that is the reality here in the Philippines, because they can see that most of the farmers are just renting spare of land from the owner. And so that farmer will ask help from that owner, will ask money from that owner to finance the farm, and then time will come, especially if there are natural calamities, especially the Philippines is a favorite place for the typhoon. We are the favorite. I do not know in Indonesia. Typhoon is very fun in the Philippines. They want to live in the Philippines. They want to visit always the Philippines, the typhoon. So our farmers are very, very, what's this? they cannot sustain their living, especially if there are calamities. And so the government is more on agriculture, gives more budget on agriculture in order for this farmer to lift up their living. So that's how we are going to sustain the natural capital of our Philippines. Okay, the recent slide shows us how to practice sustainable living. And I guess you have mentioned this earlier. Some of you mentioned this earlier on the infographics that we have. Be part of a community garden, so urban gardening. So we have to have, in the Philippines, we have gardens in our backyards, especially during pandemic, because we seldomly go out in our places because we are restricted to go out. And so the people are planting vegetables, having gardens inside their backyard. So that is part of that. Then change your light bulbs, use eco-friendly cleaners. Then transportation. So instead of other vehicles that transmit greenhouse gases, so we can use during this pandemic, bikes here in the Philippines is rampant. So most of the people here are using bikes. And then spend time reading books instead of using gadgets, instead of using other technologies, books, because it didn't use much of the energy, right? So books. So instead of watching watching Netflix, I'm sorry to use Netflix. I'm sorry. So instead of using or watching movies, so I'm sorry. We can use books to spend more time for us. And then eat more vegan or veggies. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. So that is what other students are telling a while ago, that they are using what's this recyclable materials. Okay, what else? Anybody here can share? How are we going to practice sustainable living? Okay, we have question here from Rinaldi. Okay, Rinaldi, you can ask your question.
Rinaldi. Where is Rinaldi? We don't have Rinaldi, unfortunately. Probably he participated from YouTube.
Rinaldi?
He's not here, Professor.
Not here. Okay, so let's continue. So there are many ways on how we are going to sustain our living, on which our environment will be protected. So recycle, use recyclable materials. So drive less, diba? Here we have here on the infographics, grow more plants, drive green, go green, switch to LEDs, then sustainable items. So I guess these are all self-explanatory on how we are going to use this one, practical experiences in order for us to help our environment. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so we have here essential steps for living sustainably. So number one is simplifying. How are we going to simplify things? So we will just minimizing clutter in all areas of life. So how are we going to apply this one? Simplifying. So anybody? Simplify our lifestyle, simplify our activities, our daily activities. So earlier I said instead of using gadgets during our leisure time, we can use books.
I'm so sorry, Professor Vivian. Hello, Professor Vivian. I'm so sorry that I think you are. I think that we are losing you right now. Hello, Professor Vivian.
Yeah, problem with the connection, Mbak Vivi.
Yeah, hilang Bapak.
But she has another device joined with the Zoom, right? She has two connection, Professor Vivian.
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost my connection again. Yeah. I'm so very sorry.
We can still see you because we are neighbor.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. So how are we going to simplify things? How are we going to simplify? So as what I've said earlier, instead of using gadgets, so we can use books as an alternative for that. But then as what I've said also earlier, that majority of our millennials are fond of the gadgets. Even my kid, even my son who is 9 years old is fond of using gadgets instead of reading books. So how are we going to simplify that one? Because that is already their life. That is already the world where they were born. That is already their environment compared to us who is older than them, that we've experienced simple things, simple lifestyle. But we can minimize. If we cannot stop it, we can reduce, we can minimize, we can shift other things to simplify our living. Okay, next is taking a full inventory. So how this be done? So taking a thorough inventory of one's life. Purchase only the products that are necessary. So we will not buy things that are wants only, but we will purchase things that is really our needs. So that is what we call full inventory. Prioritizing things. We will prioritize what is necessary, what is very important on that moment in order for us to help our environment. Okay, next is making a lifelong commitment. Commitment to where? Commitment to whom? Commitment to ourselves. A lifelong commitment to make the most living choice each and every time. So there must be a commitment to ourselves. As what I've said earlier, it starts from us. It starts within us. We cannot change the whole world without changing ourselves. It starts with us. So making a lifelong commitment to ourselves. But if it is difficult for us, so it's okay. It's okay. At least we tried. We tried to have that commitment. Okay? So next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so here are the top benefits of assuming a sustainable lifestyle. So number one is contribute better health, right? So if we have a good lifestyle, we eat nutritious food, we sleep on the right time, we drink plenty of water, less gadgets. So it contributed to a better health of humankind. greener planet for future generations. It's not only for us, the present generation, but also for the next generations. So that's why we are preserving this planet Earth, not for our benefit, but for the benefit of the future generation. Coefficient. Yeah, we have here question. What's this?
Yeah, question from Mutia.
Mutia,
About
what do you think about
nuclear.
using nuclear power plant? It's known as one of the renewable resources, but it's also dangerous if not built correctly. So is it a plus or a minus if viewed from the eye of sustainability? Okay. Mutia. So yes, so that is a nuclear power plant. So what do you think? If I'll ask you that one, how are you going to view this? Is it for beneficial for our environment, or it can be a source of negative impact to our environment?
Yeah, can you respond? Yeah, okay.
Actually, I'm still really confused right now, but from some sources that I've read, they say that actually nuclear power plant is really clean, but it is really dangerous if not built correctly, such as in the Fukushima, I think. But it is actually really clean, so I don't know. I don't know how to view this in the eye of sustainability. How about you, Miss Vivian?
Yeah, so that's it. That's right, Miss Mutia. That's why here in the Philippines, our government is not pro to nuclear power plant. During 1990s, there was a plan that there was an organization that is planning to put up nuclear power plant in the Philippines, but then it was not realized because we weigh things. Win-win solution. We think of the win-win solution. Yeah, it is clean, but then how about the health of the people living on that environment, living near that area? So what is the benefits? What are the advantages and the advantages of that power plant to our humankind? So we have to weigh things all out. If we are going to have a decision, to have something to put up in our environment, we have to study it first. We have feasibility study in order for us to know whether it is beneficial or not. So that's it. Yeah. Next is boost natural energy and water efficiency, durable products, fewer resources consumption, because we limit things. We didn't buy exceed materials which are not needed for us, which are wants only. So we are buying things that are necessary for us. Say for example, I have already a cell phone. So why do I need to buy another cell phone? So that is not already a need. That is already a want. Because I have already here one cell phone. This is already a need. I need to have a cell phone because it is necessary for me to communicate, to use in my class, to use in my work, to use in surfing in the internet, something like that. So why should I buy another one? On which this another one have the same function of this one. So that's one. So in that way, we are helping preserving our natural resources. So removing harmful chemicals in your home. Yes, here in the Philippines, during pandemic, we are staying inside the house, and it is a very, very hot inside the house. So we have to use what's this aircon. So we know that aircon produces what's this chemical that is harmful to our environment. So we use plants. We use plants to have a fresher environment for us. Okay, big savings, a living lifestyle, generating less waste, and improving personal skills. So those are the benefits of having lifestyle. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide, please.
Vivi, next slide. Yeah. Professor Vivian, let me have a soft reminder for you, because we have a couple of minutes left. Are you willing to have a discussion? Or,
so I'll make it faster. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'll make it faster now.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Because Daniel is waiting with question.
Yeah, so let's proceed to the next slide.
Vivi, can we proceed for the next slide? Yeah. This is the next slide.
Next. Okay, so I am I am informing everybody that these are the activities did by our students. So during pandemic, they are not stuck to their lifestyle, that they are moving out, but then they use it in a way on which other students can benefit. They conducted seminars. And the next slide, please. They conducted online contest for the students to be involved, because anxiety arises during pandemic. So this is one of their ways on how to decrease that anxiety. The lifestyle of the students will be changed because of the pandemic. So they help the students for that in that little way. Okay, next slide, please.
Next slide. Yeah.
Next slide, please. This one, they conducted online contest, and then next you can run it. You can move it. Yeah, so you can yes. Then next, then they give incentives to the students. They conducted several activities for the students, because some of the students are experiencing depression nowadays because of the pandemic. So this is what they did: online contest for the students, online gimmick, online activities. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, next. So there are winners. So that's why the student government of ASCAT was given an award because of these initiatives. Okay, next. Next slide, please.
Vivi. Next slide, please. Vivi. Yeah.
Okay, so we are also, yes, you can run through it. ASCAT also is into green. So they are using recyclable materials in planting. The previous slide, they are using plastic cups that were used already by milk tea, something like that. So they collected it and used it as pot for planting. And if we are going to sustain our lifestyle, our good life,
Halo Profesor Vivian.
The previous slide, Mbak Vivi, sebelum ini. Professor Vivian, we lost you again.
Ngapunten Pak Yuda, because the stamp is almost end.
Yeah,
I think yeah.
Habis ini saya ingatkan. Segera setelah beliau masuk kembali langsung, ini kayaknya kan slide-nya sudah terakhir. Sudah habis toh ini?
Sepertinya Pak. Sudah. Oh ya, sudah mau habis.
Oke. Profesor Vivian, halo.
Hello, I'm sorry, I'm lost again. Okay, so this is the last one.
The
So
last
if we are
one,
going to have a sustainable lifestyle, if it is started from us, the sustainable government goals of the government will be realized. All of this, because as what I've said, it started from us. Even how the government implemented all the rules, all the laws, all the ordinances, if we cannot change ourselves, everything will not be realized. So let's start it from within. So as a student, it is the best way, it is the best time for us to start, even if you are that young. So that is the best point to start to have that sustainable living in order for us to give contribution to our government. In that little way, our government will be improved, our environment will be improved, will be protected, and will be enjoyed by the next generations because it started from us. So in that little way, do not say that, I am just a student, I cannot. No, you are the future of our country. You are the future of the government, of the whole world. So start it from us. Start it from within. Okay, next slide, please. I guess next slide is I say thank you. So thank you so much for bearing with me, even if my internet connection is in trouble always.
No worries. Daniel, do you have a question to ask? Daniel, where is Daniel?
Or do we still have enough time?
Yeah. Probably just one question from Daniel.
Yeah. So hello, Professor Vivian. I'm Daniel from Bali, and I actually want to ask a question about the sustainable program, because in Bali itself, our government have a program that we shouldn't use plastic at all. So that's only applying in Bali, and I want to ask a question: if you think the waste-free grocery store is effective to be implemented in Indonesia or not, because most of the time there are still a lot of factories and they have a lot of waste plastic products as they produce their product, right? So I think it's still not effective, but I want to hear from you. Do you think it's effective or not, the waste-free grocery store? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, in the Philippines, so I have to turn off the other one. In the Philippines, we are practicing here, start to practice the zero waste management here, because this is not, we didn't practice it before, so we just practice it recently in the Philippines. When we go to the grocery or even in the wet market, we are not advised to use plastics. So we are going to bring our own bags for the products, for the grocery to be put in, because the stores here will not provide us anymore. They will not provide us any more plastic to where to put our groceries. So we have to bring. So in that little way, we are minimizing pollution, plastic use here in the Philippines. And there are penalties here if we are going to use that one. So first offense, second offense, third offense, so that one. So we don't want to pay that one, because that is, we can buy, instead of paying penalty, we can buy that additional food for our family. So that's how are we going to minimize those plastic use here in the Philippines. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay, so that will be the last question from the student, Professor. I apologize because we have the limited time, and also it will a very nice experience to have you here, to have you share the Philippines experience, because we just know that Philippines our neighbor, but we never come there to have a direct experience. But it is very nice to have you here, since probably the students get bored with their lecturer already because only seen the computer. So with you here, we have the fresh insight to have a global knowledge or global experience for us to have the sustainable lifestyle. So thank you very much, Professor, once again, for your time to explain it to us. Yeah. So we are just not friends, right? We are neighbor. We can see for always, because we don't have any fence between Indonesia and Philippines. Okay, so me as the moderator, thank you very much for Professor Vivian and also all the students who have a lovely contribution over here. Ferdi with is very active. Yeah, I see Ferdi and some of the students. So I'll get back to Mbak Vivi. What else? Yeah.
Thank you so much to Professor. Thank you so much to Professor Vivian for this insightful lecture, and also to our moderator today, Mr. Rida Prasetyawan. Without further ado, I would like to present a certificate awarding to Professor Vivian as our speaker today and to Mr. Yuda as our moderator today.
So we don't have direct certification, right? Justine.
First, I would like to say thank you so much to Prof. Vivian for this amazing lecture. I would like
Everyone
to
will have. Sorry, what is the feature, Mbak?
The feature,
Video, Pak.
So everyone can use your clap feature at the Zoom. Or I would like to present a certificate awarding to Prof. Vivian's Peligro.
Wow, I lost my hand.
Thank you.
Sign it by our rector, Professor.
Next, I would like to present a certificate, and I would to present to certificate to Mr. Yuda Prasetyawan as our moderator to this session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And without further ado, let's have a group photo session with our honorable speaker.
Oh, yeah.
And also to the participant, please turn on your camera if possible. We would like to have a group photo session.
Yeah, we lost the picture of Professor. Yeah.
Okay, Pak. I will contact her, Pak. Wait a second, Pak.
Yeah.
Professor Vivian, are you there?
Ada ya?
Professor Vivian?
How to say thank you in Philippines?
Salamat po, Pak.
Ya.
Salamat po.
Apa?
Salamat, Pak.
Salamat po.
Salamat.
Iya.
Oke, sebentar ya Pak, saya coba kontak Prof.
She is here, Mr. Rohyu. Halo, Professor Vivian. Can you hear me?
Maraming salamat.
Maraming selamat ya, maraming selamat, Prof. Thank you.
Maraming salamat.
Because it is
Halo,
very long
Professor
time
Vivian.
ago. In 2003, I have a meeting with Philippines guys in South Asia Youth Conference. Yeah. So I just forget the thank you in Philippines. Very, very long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Professor, once again, thank you so much for confirming in the last minute to replace the speaker, Professor. Once again, I'm so glad that we have a very good partnership between ITS and also ASCAP, yeah, especially in the past 1 year. Yeah, and I'm also glad that Pak Yuda also will be as moderator today. Thank you so much, Professor. Again, I'm really appreciated, Professor Vivian, yeah, in a very quick time, and you respond my call Pak this morning, yeah, and to replace because of the Malaysian lockdown, so everyone is panic over there. Thank you so much again, once again. Okay, but you may start.
And then thank you so much, and then thank you for bearing with me, even for that. I do not know if I deliver it well.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so many questions from my student. I
Yeah,
believe
so I
that the
apologize
student may
also.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, Professor. Thank you so much. Maybe I will help to count, and you may
I
continue.
apologize
Okay.
also in my part.
Yeah, that's fine, Professor. Okay, so Professor Vivian, Pak Yuda, and also the students, yeah. Can we start the photo session? I will count, and Mbak Vivi will help me to screenshot. Okay, for the first layer, Mbak Vivi, ready? Oh, Mbak Vivi lost connection. Wait a second. Now Mbak Vivi's lost connection. Okay, ready. Okay, everyone, ready? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, moving to the next slide. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. I don't know who is in the next slide. Okay, and the third slide. Yeah,
You just
1,
smile.
2, and 3.
Just smile.
Yeah, and also for the student in the YouTube. Yeah, I'm so sorry, we cannot sudah 3 slide. Yeah, okay, and okay, once more again. Yeah, for the big slide. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Ya, sudah ya Mbak ya. Okay. I think that's all, ya Mbak Vivi. So for the student, they should feedback.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Wahyu, and don't forget to the student, that, and also to the student that join this session at the YouTube channel. Please don't forget to fill the feedback. Thank you so much to Professor Vivian and also Mr. Yuda, and all the attention and orientation from the participant. Have a great day. Allow me to end the session. And 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank
Professor
you,
Vivian,
Professor
and all the
Vivian.
Bye. Thank you
participants.
so much, Professor. Thank you so much,
Thank
student. Thank you, Pak. Terima kasih banyak. Selamat po. Thank you so much, Professor.
Students.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
I love you all.
I will end.
Thank you.
I will end the session. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.